If you're new to making videos, then you might be tempted to go out and buy all the latest gear. But I am here to tell you that you don't need half of that stuff. So today we're talking about gear that you do not need to buy when you are first making videos. Let's get right into it. If you're new here, my name is Liz and I release videos every Tuesday talking about how you can add video to your business. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you never miss any of my future content. Now, there's always a trend for folks who are just starting to make videos to get this shiny object syndrome and run out and buy all of the gear. This ends up being expensive and it takes up space, and often we see people getting overwhelmed learning how to use all of this stuff. So I am here today to tell you, friend, you do not need half of that stuff. You can get started with videos very simply with just the resources that you have in your home. And in fact, when you are first starting to create videos, the priority there is learning how to develop camera confidence so that you can deliver your message in a way that people actually want to come back and keep watching it. Once you have developed that skill and that comfort, that's a good time to consider investing in gear so that you can have better videos that are more pleasing and just more varied. It's kind of like on January 1st when everyone makes a New Year's resolution to lose weight, then they go to the gym, and instead of focusing on the exercises and how they can be more consistent there, they focus on buying all of the equipment and the cutest exercise clothing. So don't be that person. Focus first on being consistent with creating videos, showing up regularly, practicing it, and getting your technique down. So today I'm going to be outlining some of the gears that I think are a total waste of your time, money, resources, and space when you are first getting started. So let's jump right into it. Now, the first set of equipment that you absolutely don't need when you are starting out is multiple tripods. Yes, it's great to have one tripod, but sometimes I see people going out and buying 3 or 4 different tripods in different heights and styles. You absolutely don't need that. It is definitely a best practice that you should stabilize your device, whether it's your DSLR or your smartphone. Nobody likes to watch a shaky video. But on the other hand, you can just get one tripod and then just adjust the height of that so that you can use that no matter the circumstance that you are shooting in. For example, if you're somebody who likes to shoot your videos sitting mostly at a desk, I could understand why you would get the mini tripods, the ones that are just about 12 inches tall. On the other hand, if you like to stand and do videos, or you like to do them from a certain distance away, then I could understand why you might get the 6-foot tall standalone tripod where you can adjust the height and then you can have a nice pleasing appearance like that. But you actually don't need both of these things at the same time. Sometimes I see people buying a third type of tripod that's in the middle, about 3 feet tall. In fact, when you buy the one taller tripod, the one that's about 6 feet, you can adjust it and shorten its height almost to about 2 feet, which means you can use that in a variety of different circumstances, including when you are sitting. That's the type of tripod that I like to use the most frequently. Right now, I'm using a 6-foot tall tripod, but I have shortened it so that it meets me at eye level when I'm sitting. If I want to stand and do a video, I'm just going to increase its height. The benefit of this is, of course, you don't have to spend money on multiple tripods, but you also don't have to lug all this gear around and set up all of this different stuff and then store it all in your room. So I really suggest finding one tripod that meets all of your uses, making sure that it's adjustable and lightweight, and then just getting the one. The next piece of equipment that I sometimes see people investing in when they are very early in their video journey is a gimbal. And I have no idea why anybody would do this right from the beginning. For one thing, a gimbal can be expensive, several $100s. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's almost like a little stand that you can hold and then you can put your device on it. And this just helps you to have a very stable and smooth movement when you are walking with your device. So it's doing the recording and you might be walking with it, but it is very, very smoothly turning, and it turns in all sorts of angles and gets different shots. It's a wonderful piece of equipment. It gives you a very cinematic look. However, when you are first starting out with videos, the priority is not to get the smooth cinematic look when you are walking. The priority is to make sure that you can actually look at the camera and say something there without, getting foggy mind or forgetting what you're talking about or rambling on or losing all of your notes or any of that stuff. The content is the most important thing when you are starting with videos, plus your delivery. So a gimbal is considered a more advanced piece of equipment. It's great when you are shooting outside, when you have a lot of movement going on for vlog style videos, or when you want to have more of a production around it, then it's amazing to have. But when you are first starting out, you need to be focused more on your actual content and delivery. The next piece of equipment that you don't need to invest in right away are LED lights. Now, people sometimes like to get LED lights right away because they know that they're the more powerful light. So they want to just start out with all the power that they can get right from the beginning. However, the best, most natural, flattering light is always window light. If there is anywhere in your home or workspace where you have a window where you're able to sit around 45 degrees so that the light is just cast nicely onto your face, that is always going to give you the most pleasant and natural appearance. In the absence of any windows in your space, then the next best alternative is the lamps that you already have at home. I always suggest lamps over the overhead lights because in fact, overhead lights that are just affixed to the ceiling, they end up casting these awkward type of shadows on your face and give you the raccoon eyes and the double chin and all of those things. On the other hand, if you have a lamp, then there's multiple benefits. You can just pick it up and move it anywhere in your space where you are recording so that you can set it up so that it's casting a nice light. That would be the second option to take. If you don't have windows and you don't have any lamps, then the next thing to look at would be a soft box. Now this is affordably purchased. It is a little bit of money, but it's not anything awful. And it actually mimics the natural light. So it casts a soft light onto your face. It's actually quite nice. It gives everybody a nice, pleasant appearance. The only drawback with the softbox is that it actually takes up quite a bit of space. So you have to keep setting it up and putting it away and having space for it. That is true. But that is the next best alternative after natural light and lamps. Now, if you don't have windows and you don't have lamps and you don't want to get a softbox, then yes, absolutely, you can get an LED light. Now, the battery that comes with many LED lights do not have a long life. So that means if you go somewhere and you want to use this light and then the battery dies after 20 minutes, then you might not be able to charge that. Not only that, but you really do have to pick a good quality LED light so that it doesn't just reflect all this fluorescent light onto your face. We've heard those stories before. Otherwise, they are quite powerful and they're a good option if you are shooting outdoors in the evening or if you are shooting in a room that has dark walls, because an LED light is certainly going to brighten up that space. However, it is very warm to sit under because they are so powerful. So if you are shooting at length with an LED light directly reflecting onto your face, then you might start feeling very warm and uncomfortable after a while. So it certainly is not a piece of gear that you need to buy right from the get-go. I would suggest that you consider all the other ones I mentioned first, as they are more affordable and in fact they give you the greatest appearance. Now at this point, I will give an honorable mention to ring lights. Speaking of gear that you absolutely don't need right from the get-go. Now the thing about ring lights is, I do admit that they are very handy. It is very easy to get a tall standing ring light where you just have to pick it up and move it to wherever you are shooting. Or you can get a clamp style ring light so that if you want to shoot videos at your desk, you just have to clamp that into the side. So I do agree that they're very easy to use and they just add a little bit of extra lighting. However, again, I always suggest that you start out with the free, natural, pleasant light that is coming through your window and then consider adding lamps if that is not enough lighting. It's only if those two things are just exhausted and you can't go forward with that you would have to consider getting a ring light at that point. However, a ring light is a great option even before buying a softbox or before buying an LED light, mainly because ring lights are portable and they're also very affordable. Now, another piece of gear that I see people running out to get right away are expensive mics. Now, of course, every video marketer will tell you that if your viewer cannot see you clearly, then they will still forgive that. But if they cannot hear you clearly, then that is a problem. They will leave your video right away. And that is very true. So you do have to prioritize the audio. But when you are first starting to make videos and you are using something like your smartphone, if you are recording at a close distance, that native microphone on the smartphone is absolutely going to pick up your voice. You don't need to get other external microphones. However, when you start shooting at a bit of a distance, or if you are using a DSLR or some other type of recording device, then yes, you may want to invest in an affordable microphone. You can get something easy like a lavalier mic that just pins onto your shirt and then you plug the other end into your device. Those are very affordable. Or if you're recording with your laptop, you can get a mic that just sits on your desk next to you and then plugs in via a USB. And you can find affordable versions of those. But when you are going to buy a mic, make sure that you do some research first because there are different types of mics. There are dynamic mics, condenser mics, there's mics that are meant for musicians, there's mics that are meant just for one person speaking. There's all sorts of range of audio equipment, so don't be disappointed when you spend money and buy a type that actually doesn't suit your purposes. So instead, start with just your actual smartphone and then graduate up to something that's very affordable, I would say less than $100, and you can get nice, crisp, clear audio right from the get-go. Now, speaking of sound, another piece of gear that I see people running out to get right away are sound panels. Now, this is meant to actually block out echo and give you a better acoustic experience. But in fact, you don't need those right from the beginning unless you know that you are going to be consistently shooting your videos in a place that is very, very echoey. If that is the case, then yes, you can absolutely invest in sound panels, and that would be a good idea. But for the most of us who are just shooting in our homes or in a small space somewhere, there are things that we can do within that space itself to help to absorb echo and sound. The first thing that you can do is to lay down a carpet or a rug in that room. That will help to absorb some sound. And if you have some objects that you can add into that room, that will also absorb sound. We always hear about voiceover talent artists and podcasters sometimes going and recording their audios in a closet. And the reason they do that is because that small space that is full of a lot of items actually ends up absorbing all of the echo and that white noise, and you just get the nice crisp audio. So don't consider running out to get all the sound paneling right away if there are a few of these type of things that you can do in your own space just to drown out any echo. Now, the last piece of gear that we're talking about today that I don't think you need right from the beginning is a teleprompter. Now, I absolutely understand the benefit of a teleprompter because if you have a great deal of difficulty in remembering the content that you want to deliver on video, or if you have complex topics that you want to talk about and you want to keep it straight, or if there's a long piece of content that you want to say and you just find it difficult to memorize it or keep it all organized in your mind, then I can certainly understand why you would get a teleprompter. However, let's not forget that they are quite expensive. Good teleprompters are expensive. Not only that, but in my heart, I really believe that when you first start making videos, you need to spend some time learning how to speak to the camera naturally. That is a skill that you will be able to use a million different times over and over. You won't always have your teleprompter with you, friends. So if you get used to speaking only with a teleprompter, then you are never really training yourself to speak naturally to the camera. Once you get an ability to speak naturally to the camera, then you can even speak at length for 30 minutes when you are creating videos, and you won't even need a teleprompter. Now, my main message for you today is that you do not need to get held back by lack of budget or resources in order to start making videos, because a lot of the gear that you might be thinking that you need, you in fact don't need. You can get started today with just the resources that you have at home. Remember, the most important thing for your viewer is that you are showing up with confidence, that you are showing up with good content that's actually meaningful for them, and that you have a nice, passionate, enthusiastic approach to your video making. These are the things that will bring your viewers back time and time again. On the other hand, if you don't have these things, no amount of gear can save any of us. So I suggest focusing your energy on developing the best camera presence that you possibly can. Get the skill down pat so that you can create videos consistently, quickly, learn how to edit them, and then enjoy that process and make it fun for you. Once you've reached that level of skill and mastery, that's when you can consider investing in more gear. And that is really with the purpose of just broadening your video journey. You can start creating different types of videos, and you can just have better production around it. This, I think, is the best way for you to take, and you don't have to spend money on unnecessary gear right from the get-go. Now, if you learned something new here today, I hope that you'll give this video a like and share it off with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because every Tuesday I bring you a new video where I try to help you add video to your business in the most simple and sustainable way possible. So until next time, take care.